Yay Networks.
Hey, y'all. Welcome to Life with the Lindseys. My name is Heather.
And what's up, yo? This your boy, Cornelius.
Yes, I'm so excited you landed on our podcast, and your life is pretty much going to be changed.
Yes, man. If you're looking for something real, relevant, and authentic, then you landed on the right place. Hey, here's the thing. We about to get going right now, so y'all tune in, buckle up, sit back, get ready for the show. Here we go.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, y'all.
Yeah. It's your boy, Cornelius.
Hey, y'all. It's Heather.
And
welcome to Life with the Lindseys.
Welcome to Life with the Lindseys.
So we don't have video again. We love y'all. And we missed the video, but we're in a season right now where we are booked and busy. It's not even
tired.
It's not.
I am exhausted.
You know what I had for dinner? I had mangoes, and I had one mango, and I had this avocado and chips.
Yeah, I pulled some chicken off of a rotisserie chicken, and I put some buffalo sauce on it, and then I scrambled some eggs, and I added some bacon to it, and
we're in survival mode right now.
That was my dinner, and the reason being, so we have stuff going on, but on top of all the other things we have going on, we're parents, and so we're talking about, this is Life with the Lens. It's talking about our life, and Logan was playing soccer, and now Logan is now playing football. Yeah. And football is a huge commitment. It is, I think, is right underneath traveling baseball. I've heard traveling baseball. I heard
that's crazy.
I do not. I'm very thankful he is not a baseball player.
He asked.
He did?
Oh, yeah,
okay, well, we're going to keep that far away from him. Right now, he loves football, but football practice is 4 nights a week. Yeah. And it's from 6:30 to 9:00 p.m. And I'm just like, and so like trying to get him to football. And then Taylor's in gymnastics, and she has to be at gymnastics from 5:30 to 7:30. And then, it's like, it's just.
And then I have class at night. I teach a stock class at night. Like she's
crazy. Doing the stock class at night. I'm recording sermons for a Sabbath during the day and trying to do. So it's just trying to do everything. And some of the parents out there, like y'all are already out there kicking it. So y'all already know exactly what it is. Trying to make sure that all these kids get to different places at different times. And then they have like the right stuff they're supposed to take. Like he has to have his helmet and his stuff. And then Taylor has to have her shoe, her gymnastics leotards or whatever.
Yeah, she got invited to the competition. Like
she got to have that stuff, and then it's just like, did he bit his mouthpiece? Did he drop it on the floor?
And then
a water bottle.
Roman getting him ready for school.
And Roman,
it's a lot. Yeah.
Like, okay, all right. I'm
any parents out there struggling right now, y'all, we see you. We see
you. I'm like, school hadn't even started yet.
No, and I'm already getting a million emails from teachers. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, I'm on that email list. I don't be responding though.
I'm about to have my assistant start reading.
I don't be responding. It was something like they left like something at the school, some headphones or something.
Yeah, it'll be in their class.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Like, dude, the class is right next door. Hand them to the next teacher. He'll be okay. Look, we'll get him on the first day of school. I ain't making another trip up to that.
I know we have tons of orientations, though.
They can orientate my behind. I'm not orientating nothing else. I know the school. I've walked to school. I've met the teacher. We good to go. Okay. We'll see you on the first day. I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna see you at 7:45 when we drop them off.
You're hilarious.
That's what we're gonna do. But that's not what we're talking about today, y'all. Today, on a very serious note, we are talking about I forgot what it was.
How to support your spouse through depression.
How to support your spouse through depression.
This is real because you struggle with depression since what, 2019?
It's been three or 4 years.
It was on and off. No, it was before. Married.
It was before 2019. It probably started hardcore like middle of 2017. Yeah. And 2019, it took like a big dive. And depression has been something that I've definitely struggled with.
So I think when I first started noticing that you were having the symptoms of depression, it was hard because I'm like, just snap out of it, right? Just like pray out of it, like go to a therapist, like, and I think I was way too light about it because I didn't understand it, right? And I think as I've continued to walk this journey with you, like depression is a sickness, right? And you can't just switch it off. It doesn't work like that.
No, it does not.
And it's like, exactly. And I think what's helped me is I've learned to be more empathetic and understanding of what you're going through, because it's not like you said, I want to feel like this.
Right.
It's not like you're signing up like, hey, I want to feel like there's no way out. I want to feel like I feel low and down and I don't enjoy my activities and things that I once loved.
Yeah.
Like nobody signs up for that.
Right.
So I feel like for me first is like, I started to put myself in your shoes and stop expecting for you to be like me.
Yeah.
We're two different people.
Yeah.
So I had to step out of Heather and honestly, I feel like a lot of times you didn't need my advice. Like you didn't need my.
It actually made it worse when you gave me advice, because and really hear me out on this. Like when somebody's going through a depressive state, a depressive stage, whatever it is, a valley moment, however you want to call it. Like a lot of times it's not the fact that they don't know what to do. That's not the issue. The issue is not information. The issue is when I feel depressed, I have lost the ability to do it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like what you're saying, like, why don't you just snap out of it? If it was just that simple, then,
Of course. You would snap out.
I would just snap out of it. But a lot of times it's like the very thought of me getting out of the bed is overwhelming. Like
Yeah.
I'll wake up and then I have moments like I'll wake up and I dread the fact that I just woke up.
Yeah.
Because I wish I didn't wake up.
Yeah.
And then the fact that now I woke up, like I have to get through the day, and then I find myself preoccupying my time with different things just so I don't have to, I don't want to stop for a second, because I feel like if I stop and I think, then it's just gonna make it worse.
That's hard, baby. That's tough. So,
It's really tough. So it's legit. Like it's actually, the message that I'm preaching for Sabbath LA. And the message is about, preoccupation versus living, and, what the Bible how we see that in the Bible, and, and just in my own time of devotion, like how that really encouraged me, the story between Mary and Martha, and how a different way to look at that different story. But nonetheless, like that's literally how I would live. And that's how I've kind of got through. I don't feel like I live my days. I feel like I just kind of get through them as quickly as I can by doing whatever I can and just get through it.
That's hard, babe.
So it's like, I'm trying to find something to do, to focus on, just so I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
And nowadays, with social media and stuff like that, it's easy for you to, just get onto a social media app and just scroll, because that gives you something to preoccupy your time so that you don't have to deal with your thoughts. Because I'm going to say this. There are times when I'm afraid of my thoughts.
Yeah.
Because I'm afraid of what I'm thinking, because one day I don't want to give in or agree to what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
And so then at times I'm like, well, I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be in a space where I'm alone, because if I'm alone with my thoughts, then I feel like that's when it's really dangerous. So it's just this big spiral. Like it's heavy. Like even trying to explain it is like, even like me explaining it now, like hearing it, I'm like, dog, like that's a lot, but that's how it feels.
Yeah. I mean, that's tough, babe. Like
Yeah.
I can't imagine how you feel. And I think it's hard for me sometimes to put myself in your shoes, because in my head, I'm like, I need to be silent. I need to be alone so I can hear like what God wants me to do next.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I can't fill my thoughts with things because I feel like God wants to speak to me.
Right.
So like, what do you think about that?
What? Just being silent, just saying,
Seeing what God wants to speak through you in regards to your thoughts.
Well, I mean, so I have one thing I do when I get to the gym in the morning. I sit in my truck and I have my time of devotion with the Lord. So that is my time where not only I'm reading and I've had to get away from the fact that I don't want to preoccupy my time with reading the Bible, because oftentimes I'll preoccupy my time with reading it just so I don't have to just sit still and listen. So I have my moment where I'm reading whatever verse it is, whatever thing I'm on at that time. And then I meditate and I stop. And then I'm like, okay, God, like, what is it that you want to speak to me about this?
Yeah.
And so today specifically, it was about preoccupation versus living. It was like, how do you want to speak to me specifically about this? And so I have those moments where he does speak, but then a lot of times I can be so angry at him because I'm low. And I'm like, but everything I've given you for my life, like why do I have to feel this? You know what I mean? So, but I mean, just so before we continue, we just want to give a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp, which just is an amazing segue into this because therapy is needed. You know, my wife and I, we've both gone through therapy. We're still in therapy now, but BetterHelp provides a great online therapy. And then you got to think, you know, in the past you had to go sit in an office.
Yeah.
You don't know who's going to be there. You know, who's going to be seeing you. You know, the anxiety you're going to feel just sitting there. You got to sit across when I went, I was sitting on a couch in front of, you know, the therapist who was sitting in a chair. But now, you know, you can do things virtually and be able to just find somebody who you can connect with, a professional, you know, therapist. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, and it's so cool. Within 48 hours, you guys can get paired with a therapist. So they can help walk you through depression, anxiety, fear, just any of those areas that you're just kind of feeling overwhelmed and crippled with. I see my therapist virtually. I love her. She's amazing. Every single Tuesday at like 2:00, we have our standing appointment. And it's been a game changer for me. She's just helped me really deal with areas in my life that, you know, I've been kind of, you know, they're blind spots per se. So we highly recommend BetterHelp, y'all.
Yeah, I mean, highly recommend BetterHelp. I mean,
for sure.
All of our listeners will get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/Lindseys. That's better, HELP.com/Lindseys, and that's LINDSEYS, and it's better, HELP.com/Lindseys, LINDSEYS.
As you were talking, I was thinking about Paul in the Bible, where God gave him that thorn in his side, and he's just like, when I was researching that scripture, they were just saying like it was a sickness. And it just would not go away. And he was just so annoyed by it. And 3 times he begged God to get rid of this thorn. Yeah. And God didn't, you know, and he just said pretty much like, when you're weak, I'm your strength. And as you were talking, I just thought of that verse, you know?
So that was my verse. What is today? Thursday?
Thursday, yeah.
That was my verse on Tuesday.
Wow.
Pissed me off. Pissed me off. Pissed me slap off right there in the car.
Because it's that thorn.
Pissed me off.
But you know, something about that thorn.
Pissed me off. No.
Oh, no, trust me. The thorn pisses me off too. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Everybody's got a thorn. Everybody's got an area. Everybody has this area where it's just God uses that thorn to develop you, to make you more like him. And it sucks. It hurts. It's painful. I mean, who says a thorn feels good? Nobody can say a thorn feels. I don't care how positive you are. You can't flip it and be like, oh, I just love thorns. No, nobody says I want a thorn. No one says I want hard times. No one wants depression. No one wants, you know, those things. But I feel like those thorns in our side is what literally makes us more like him.
I would agree. I definitely agree with that. And then even a part of that, one thing I was getting out of my time of devotion, where this was my response back to God, and that was, you know, God, even if you are allowing me to go through this, so that I can be more empathetic to other people who are going through this, then, you know, so be it, because, you know, I feel like, and I want to believe that I'm able to help other people.
Oh yeah,
because God's given me ability to be able to use words, to be able to teach, to be able to verbalize different things, and I want to believe that I'm adding language to what a lot of people feel.
Yeah.
And because when I was in high school and stuff like that, I never suffered from depression. When I got to college, I never suffered from depression. Like that wasn't my thing. So then, even when I started going to a therapist, and my therapist was like, yeah, you're depressed. And I'm like, depressed? Like, I was like, yeah, you talking about? I'm not depressed. Like, do you know who I am? Like, I'm Cornelius Antonio.
I have a good life.
I'm great. Depressed. Yo,
we
mama
have
depressed.
Children. You're married to the most amazing woman.
Yeah, I'm like, when I'm depressed. But legit, it was like, no, you're depressed. Yeah. And that hurt. That literally hurt. Like I needed to try to figure out, like, maybe I don't know. I know I'm depressed, but I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, you're definitely taking steps, right? Going to therapy, going to retreats.
Yeah.
You have a retreat coming up.
I mean, every day, I tell people, like, literally dealing with this sickness, dealing with this dis-ease. I tell people that I am taking every day one day at a time. I'm taking life one day at a time. That's just like, that's what I can give, because sometimes when I try to think too far ahead, I get so overwhelmed. Because overwhelmed because the initial thought that comes to my mind is, when I'm thinking ahead, initial thought comes to my mind is, will you make it there?
Yeah.
That's my initial thought.
That's
and then
crazy.
That thought brings me low. Like, I won't even make it there.
Yeah.
I won't even make it there. I know people are probably listening right now, like, that's the devil. That's the devil right there. He trying to cut off your life, and you need to plead the blood of Jesus. You listen, I have pleaded every drop and ounce of the blood. And I know I don't want to hear your pastor's sermon. No, I don't care about what your prophet said. No, and if I'm being honest, I don't feel like they have anything. I don't feel like they have any revelation that is going to make it all better. They don't have an altar or anything that's gonna make it better. So I don't like that part is like severely irritating. It is so irritating. Like, listen to me, people. Listen to me. Like, spouses out there whose spouses is dealing with stuff. Like, it's so irritating. It's so irritating when, like, the first thing that they say is like, you need to go listen to this prophet, or you need to go say this prayer. It's like, dude,
I'm a believer. You was a pastor for 10 years.
Yeah. Like, yo, I was a pastor.
We got all the tools.
Like, and that's the thing. Like, it's not the fact. I don't lack the tools. I don't lack the information.
Yeah.
And I hate to, like, I almost feel disrespected for somebody to assume that you feel like your pastor has the word that came from God when I have access to him myself.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing I don't get when people do that for me. It's like, people DM me like, oh, you need to listen to the sermon by my pastor. He's not my pastor. Yeah. He feeds you. I don't care nothing about him. You know what I'm talking about? So, yeah, praise the Lord.
I mean, even when you talk, I think there's times where I'm like, okay, am I just listening, or is he looking for advice? Because sometimes, like, I always want to give advice. I'm very solution minded, right? I have a growth mindset. So I'm like, let's grow from this. Let's figure out how we can get better. I mean, they should all know it's me as your wife. Like, I'm always thinking ahead. I'm always planning ahead. I'm always trying to figure out how, what, where, right? We've done all that, right? So again, some thorns, I feel like God uses those things to make us more like him. Yeah. And I'm sure people look down on Paul, right, with his disease. And I think he had a skin disease. That's what it was at the time. So people could see it.
Yeah.
So this man is going around preaching, and you have your own sickness. You know what I mean? I was thinking of Luke 22:42, and it says, Father, if you're willing, please take this cup of suffering away from me. Yet I want your will to be done, not mine.
Yeah.
And I always say, like, God, I want the cup that you have for me. Like, I want the cup, whatever that looks like. I don't like the suffering that I've had to go through in my life. I don't like the hard times, but nevertheless, I want your will and not mine.
Look, you can be like Jesus. God, I don't want this doggone cup. I don't want it. You, John, and Jesus can all roll together, can all ride together. You and John can both lay your head up on his breast and lay there, and
every morning,
and you can enjoy yourself. But Listen, me and Peter, we don't. God, take the cup, give us the sword. That's us. Like, yo, give me the sword, God. I don't want a cup.
But I feel like the Lord's using it to humble us in such a way where I just feel like as he exalts you, baby, in this next season, like you'll never become haughty.
Oh, absolutely not.
You see what I'm saying? Like you'll never.
Absolutely
you're so
not. I feel
humble.
so low already.
But what I'm saying is like I feel like you're so humble on another level of humbleness.
Oh, well, praise the Lord.
Through this process. And so I just feel like, again, it's a thorn that God uses, but I feel like for where he's taking you, it's like, maybe he's like, you know what, let me humble that tail a little bit because he gonna need it for where I'm taking him.
Yeah.
I don't want him to start feeling himself.
Yeah. And speaking of like, me being able to just find things that can really just keep my mind stimulated, I am a big believer in one game that I play. If there's one app on my phone that I'm going to use every night when I go to bed or when I'm on the airplane, it's Best Fiends. I am going to play Best Fiends. I absolutely love the game. It is free to download, and it's also Best Fiends. We get people that are like, "Oh, he's my best friends." It ain't Best Friends. It is Best Fiends. But the way the game works, there are different levels. I think I'm on like level 1500 right now.
Yeah.
But there are different levels that you get to. And each level, it provides all these different characters that you can use. It provides all these different tools that you can use in order to beat the level. And then I also love, like, for every holiday or something like that, it provides a different aspect of the game where it's like even like a Monopoly style, game, or like there's some times where you can like hit a piñata and you can win something. So there's all these different things that it provides. It's just absolutely amazing. It just makes the game just really, really worthwhile.
Yeah, we love it. Now, you've earned your fun time, y'all. Go to the App Store or Google Play to download Best Fiends for free. Plus, earn even more with $5 worth of in-game rewards when you reach level 5. That's friends without the R. Best Fiends.
Best Fiends. So go download it today. Just download it right now. Just go on and just stop.
It's his fave.
And that is my favorite game on my phone right now. Best Fiends. I play it all the time. And you don't even need Wi-Fi to play it, so make sure you get it. But yeah, so you can keep your cup. You can keep your cup, and you, Jesus and John can.
No, I'm saying I don't want the cup, but I want his will.
Hey,
so if that means I got to drink that ish, then I'm gonna drink that ish.
I like that. Drink that ish. Come on, that needs to be a sermon. Yes. Drink that ish.
I'm gonna drink it.
But the thing is, I don't want to drink it.
Yeah.
So I don't want it. You can have it.
It's just,
I'm good.
But this is my perspective, baby. My perspective is, like, he's working out everything for my good.
You're so positive.
You know what I mean?
God,
like, he's using the depression for your good. He's using everything you've ever gone through for your good.
That's what the word says.
Right? So in my head, I'm thinking like this season, just like winter is temporary.
Yeah.
And unless you live in Cali, you get the same season all season, all year.
I saw somebody that was like, yeah, it's raining in Atlanta. I was like, raining in Georgia. And I was like, well,
it doesn't rain here.
No rain here. I ain't seen no rain. I ain't seen no rain in a long time.
Right. But I look at it like it's temporary. It's seasons. I look at our children. I mean, come on. We all had that newborn hazing stage, and now we're finally out of it, and we actually get to sleep through the night. And then I had that season where I was breastfeeding, and I felt like it was never going to end, but now it ended, and now I miss it. You know what I mean? Like, I will be nursing our grandbabies if our kids let us.
Okay. All right. All right.
So what I'm saying is I'm just like, Lord, these things that have happened, you're using it for our good. And it's going to be this beautiful exchange, this beautiful thing. And I'm excited for the future. I'm excited about what he's going to do. Yeah. I don't know the future, but I know him. And I'm like, everything's going to be okay.
And that's amazing. Praise. I mean, no, that's good. I think that's how we should think. That's what the Bible tells us to think. Everything you just said was right there in the word. But, I go back to you can have your own cup.
But you know what? And this is what I do, y'all, and how to support your spouse that's going through depression. I'm not going to force and preach to you at all.
That's the worst thing to do, people.
Exactly. I don't do that to you. I don't go around and be like, well, you know what the word of God says. No, instead, I send you reels so you can laugh for hours at the bathroom while you sit and watch them. You know what I mean?
There you go. That's it right there.
I mean?
Just
Like,
send me something funny.
I just send him stuff that's funny, right? And remember that when I sent you at the airport where that guy was fighting that guy at the airport?
Oh, yeah.
they made all those beats to it. But like I send you stuff that's funny.
Yeah.
I encourage you. There's a war outside, I'm not going to bring the war in our home. I'm not trying to start no argument. I'm not trying to fight with you. But at the same time, I also have to recognize what you're going through is not a reflection of me.
And I was just about to say that. I think a spouse could easily feel like, oh, you're depressed because of me.
You're not happy with me.
Yeah, you're not happy with me, when that's not the case at all. Like, I think I told you that the other day, where I was like I was reassuring you, it has nothing to do with you.
Sure.
It has everything to do with the fact that I can't find happiness in anything.
Yeah.
Like, that's the separation here. If you have a spouse who's going through depression and you're like, well, I'm gonna divorce him because he don't want me, or she don't want me. No, it's not the fact they can't find happiness at home. It's the fact they can't find happiness in anything.
But that's the thing. They're not divorcing because of depression. They're divorcing because they feel like, I just need you to get better. Like, I'm just sick of you being sick.
Yeah.
Like, I need to move on from this kind of thing. You know what I mean?
And maybe, and the assumption is that you can move on, you'll find somebody else, but then you're going to get married to somebody else who has another type of sickness that you didn't know about.
Yeah.
And maybe theirs isn't depression. Maybe theirs is an alcoholism that they've been hiding from you. Like, so it's different things. You ultimately, you have to be able to choose what you have. But I will say, as somebody who has suffered from depression, one of the things that, I appreciate you doing, babe, is when I'm having a low moment, you don't come to me with a task list. Because again, like I said earlier, information is not our problem. Our problem is not having the will to do it. So, and you got to think, if I already feel low and I feel overloaded when I'm low, if you come to me and you say, you know what, you need to go to therapy, that automatically sends a signal to me that says I'm not good enough, which substantiates my claim that maybe I'm not enough.
Yeah.
And then that gives me something else to do that ultimately proves that I'm not worthy of anything. And then that brings me lower. Yeah. So then I'm not going to therapy because I'm really trying to do it. I'm going to therapy to make you happy, to cross something off the list so that I can get you to shut up so I can finally go through my own emotions.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think adding things to somebody who's down or sick is not going to be helpful, right?
Yeah, it's just like somebody who's in the hospital who has cancer. Yeah. If they're laying there in the bed, can barely move, or they're going through chemo, you don't look at them and say, you need to go help me build this house. It's like they can't. They don't have the strength. I
feel like people are more empathetic towards people with cancer than they are with depression.
Very much so.
And so it just sucks because it's like people don't understand, like it's such a silent disease.
It is.
You know what I mean? Because you could be smiling.
And it's invisible.
Yeah, you're showing up. Especially if you're a performer, you could turn it on, you can smile. People would never even know anything's wrong with you unless you openly say it.
Yeah.
And that's what I love, baby. I love that you're very open about it, just to bring awareness to it. You know what I mean? Because so many people struggle with depression. There's postpartum depression. There's so much depression that's going on. And it's like a lot of people got depressed after COVID too.
A lot of people are still dealing with that.
They're still very much depressed. And it's like, they've been trying to snap out of it forever and they can't. They're having a hard time.
They're having a very hard time.
What do you think has helped you, when I know personally, to make you laugh, to have fun. If you're really down, I come and give you just a long hug.
Yeah.
Right.
Those help. That
sex helps too, because sex makes you feel better.
Yeah, it does. Sex does help. A lot of times though, and I want to make sure I say this for the spouses out there to know, a lot of times when you're in a depressed state, the desire to have sex does go down.
Yeah.
It does go down, and that's not a reflection of you.
Yeah.
It's just a reflection of I can't find happiness in this. I can't find happiness in just the moment that I'm in life. Yeah. So then I may not be, it's just, it all just kind of, thankfully, you know, for us, it's still been great. It's still been good, but it's like I do want to make clear, like with spouses in those moments of depression and those depressive states, like it can be very difficult to find that desire. And then you're like, well, you ain't touching me like you used to. And it's like, well, you know
what I learned?
What?
If I want to be touched, go touch you.
Yeah. It's like,
and then I just go cuddle with you.
Yeah. I was said, yeah, absolutely. Like, just come and cuddle with me. Just,
yeah. Cause we used to argue about that.
And you'd be like, well, why aren't you touching me right now? And I'm like, girl, why? I'm not playing no childish game.
Why does it have to be a war?
I was saying it all the time. Like, why does it have to be a war? Just come over here and lay next to me.
I let go of those expectations. I had so many expectations and so many lists and so many. And
at
I just
Enneagram 1.
I know, right? But and this is for people who are really struggling right now.
Yeah.
You might feel like you have a spouse that, you know, is depressed and down. I don't let what my husband's going through affect my mood. Like I had to separate the two because I'm a feeler. So I used to wake up and be like, babe, I can feel you. You feel really depressed today. You know what I mean? Or you feel really low. Or
which that doesn't help.
It doesn't
FYI,
help.
People, FYI.
So instead of telling my husband, diagnosing him, I just, you know, be like, hey, babe, how are you doing today? Or, you know, just keep it light. And then I would go pray. And I would, like, in my prayer room, declare, I'll take my communion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so instead of like trying to psychoanalyze your spouse, be yourself, be that light, be joy, laugh, have fun. You know, I know we've been so busy. I haven't had time to cook. So I was like, let's just go ahead and, you know, I'll order some meal kits and we can just figure it out, you know?
And those things really do help. But y'all know something, you know, life is already just so complicated. And, you know, what if getting a term life insurance to protect your family could be easy? Fabric has moved life insurance all online, so getting a policy that's right for your family isn't complicated at all. In fact, planning for your family's future has never been easier. And y'all know I am a big proponent of life insurance. Y'all know back in 2020 or 2021, which are 2021, I went and got a I went and got a back in 2021, I went and I got my my life insurance license because I was like, yo, I got to figure this thing out. So y'all know I'm a big believer in life insurance. You need to make sure you get it. Great thing is Fabric was built by parents for parents to help make it easier to manage your family's finances. Fabric's new lower prices mean significant savings over other providers with great quality policies, like $1 million in coverage for less than $1 a day. Fabric has a 30-day money-back guarantee, and you can cancel anytime. And Fabric's online hub lets you handle all of your family's finances in one place, just not life insurance. Create a will, start your kids' college savings plan, and even set up a rainy day savings fund.
Yes.
Ready to make sure that you get your life insurance policy.
Yes, y'all. Protect your family's financial future with Fabric. Apply today in just 10 minutes at meetfabric.com/LWTL. That's meetfabric.com/LWTL. That's MEET fabric.com/LWTL. Fabric Insurance Agency policies issued by Vantis Life, not available in New York and Montana. Prices are subject to underwriting and health questions.
So make sure y'all get y'all life insurance, please. Make sure y'all get your life insurance.
Yes.
Praise the Lord, get your life insurance.
But instead of psychoanalyzing my husband, I said, you know what? I'm going to work on me. I'm going to go to therapy. I go to therapy every single week. I'm reading books. I'm working on me. I'm working out. I'm becoming the best Heather I can be, and loving my husband the best way that I know how, you know? And it's like, I feel like sometimes when our spouse is going through something, we begin to put on our work hat. Like, I'm going to fix them. No, you're a grown man. I can't fix you,
right?
But God can. So I can surrender you to the Lord, and I can love you well the best way that I know how, and support you in that way. But I feel like when we stand up and say our vows, we say in sickness and in health, and depression is a sickness. And it's like, you have to accept that and say, I might not like it, but this is the cup that God has handed to me. So if he has handed this cup to us, then we're going to walk through this, and there's something beautiful on the other side of it.
Yeah. And the cool, I mean, the thing, not the cool thing, but the thing is that I don't want the cup either. I mean, if I was standing there like, okay, God, which cup, which cups you hanging out? You handing out. That ain't the one I want. I don't want that one. So I mean, I would not wish my depressive spell, my depressive episodes on any person.
Do you
not
think
even
there's
my
ever a
worst
trigger?
enemy. Sometimes I feel like sometimes I do feel like there are triggers when I don't feel like I'm enough.
Yeah.
It takes me, like, that's a big one. If something happens that kind of substantiates a claim in my head that I don't feel like I'm enough, boom, I am down low to the ground. Like, it brings me down. So there are some things that I have recognized that triggers me. And because of that, I seek to avoid those triggers. Sure. But, there are some things that do trigger me, and then it takes me there. And then there's some times where I'm literally in the bed and I feel it. It's almost like a weight. It's like a heaviness. And it's just like, it just sits on me. And then all the thoughts just start coming through.
What happens when you speak back to the thoughts?
I mean, I do that now. Yeah. I mean, I do believe when the word says, to take every thought captive and bring it under.
It's like one of my favorites.
So I still believe that. And so y'all got to believe I was a pastor, I still believe the word. So
there's a lot of depressed pastors out there that are undercover.
A ton of them.
Undercover, y'all.
Because y'all listen to me and you don't even know it, but your pastor probably talks to me about his depression.
Come on.
He's probably DM me if he don't have my number, texting me saying, bro, I feel like I'm about to check up out this place. Like, I don't want to be here anymore. You're just the only one
openly talking about it.
I'm the one who's talking about it.
So they're just like, oh my gosh, are you okay? So, are you going to hurt yourself?
Exactly. Yeah. Like, are you okay? But you don't realize your pastor just preached a whole message, shouted, you were shouting all throughout the church. He went home and he texted me and said, I don't want to do this anymore. I hate my life. Yeah. And so you don't even know that because you don't see it.
No idea.
Because he's not, if every pastor on Sunday, Saturday, whatever it is, got up on their stage and told every congregation what they were going through, I don't think the congregations would believe it.
No. Oh no, they would leave. They want a perfect pastor that
they would leave.
Exist.
Exactly.
They'd be like, I don't want my pastor to have a thorn. Guess what, y'all? Your pastor has a thorn. Every single one. Every single one of us, y'all. Until Jesus comes back, we gonna have thorns. Yeah. We're all gonna have areas we need to work on.
Yeah, but one of the things I'd love to do is I will speak back to it, and I'd be like, nah, I'd be driving, and be like, nope, we can't do that. Not today. Not today. No.
Do you cuss back at it? You cuss him?
Oh, I cuss a lot.
You cuss back at the thought?
Oh my God, you could only imagine. If you was in my truck with me, you would know. But yeah, I mean that happens. But going to do things that I also like also helps. So being at the gym, spending time with my family, like doing stuff like it's
being
just
with me.
Yeah, that's what I said. My family,
I'm just
like having a good time. Like sometimes just getting away. Yeah. And being like getting away from where I am. Like I'm at that point now. I'm like I need to get away. But it's like you gotta do things. Right now, one of my main things is the gym. That is like when I walk in the gym, it's just it's heavenly. But
I love that you have that place. Yeah, it's good, baby.
Yeah, but we appreciate y'all. We hope that something that we shared here could be helpful to you in your journey. And it is a sickness. It is a dis-ease. Communicate with each other. If verbalize as much as you possibly can what's going on so that you both can begin to work toward a solution. That'd be great for your family.
You look good over there, baby.
I appreciate it. Got my shirt off. I'm all laying out.
I know. I'm like, yes, we need to do more podcasts like this. You take them bottoms off too.
All right. Well, we love every last one of y'all. We're going to see y'all later. God bless y'all. Bye.